All right, welcome back to the channel, everyone. Thank you for tuning in to another video. We are looking here at the Nasdaq 100 futures, and I have the S&P or the E-mini S&P 500 up, viewing that market as well. We'll take a look at that one first. We did get a break to the upside here, as you can see. I believe this was not overnight. Let's see here. Give me 1 second. Let's take a look here. Yeah, into the overnight session. Yep. Okay, we broke higher right here. We broke above this area, this high right here at 47.92. So it broke structure to the upside. There is a demand area resting right here at 47.80. Okay, on the ES futures. Okay, this is on the higher time frame chart. So we could expect something to possibly happen if we pull back to this zone right here. Demand, breaking structure. So that's part of my strategy, what I like to see, or I need to see. I always want to see a break of structure when I'm trading, supply and demand, okay? So in this case here, we've got a break of structure with an area of demand within it right here on the higher time frame, in this area right here. I was waiting for that. Now, you know, we've been looking at the ES, and it's not really been doing much the last several days. But even when the market pulled back to this, well, let's see here. Yeah, this area right here. Okay, let's see. Yeah, this area right here. This was a demand area on the higher time frame, and you can scale down to your lower time frame and look for a demand setup. Here is a break of structure to the upside, pull back. This could be, you know, if it pulls back to 80 again, this would be demand in which we could look for a possible entry. But scale down and move down to your lower time frame. So once we tap this zone, let me move this down a little bit. Once we tap this zone, okay, right here. All right, this is a demand zone. So once we tap this area here, pull back to it on the higher time frame, then that's when the strategy starts to unfold. We met the first part of the strategy, meaning it's tapped into the higher time frame zone. Then we start, you know, going step by step. The second part of the strategy is that then we move down to our lower time frame chart, and we look for a demand setup on the lower time frame. Okay, so this is the zone. Okay, once it taps into that zone on the higher time frame, as we are on now, then we move down to our lower time frame entry chart. Then we look for a demand setup unfolding around this zone here. Once we receive that and the market pulls back to that demand area on the lower time frame, we look for rejection. That's the last part of the steps process, is to look for rejection. And basically what I like to see is a close of a candle in the opposite direction. Okay, breaking above and closing, then you can go long, right? But you got to pay close attention to price action when it's coming back to the zone, your demand zone on the lower time frame. I've talked about this, man, probably hundreds of times on different channels. I mean, not different channels, on different videos, guys. You guys have got to go back and watch the content. The thing that bothers me now is that people are jumping to questions and not going back and practice, not practicing, but reviewing the videos. I'm not going to sit here. You've got to understand. If you've got questions, trust me, there's been 100+ people that have asked the same question. Okay, spend some time watching the videos. I'll stop and say that now. All right, whatever question you may have, I've already answered it. I've already shown it. I've already displayed it. I've already discussed it. I've already expressed it. I've talked about it numerous times in videos. You've got to watch the content over. Okay, I don't have, you know, my time is very limited, and to go in and start hand selecting videos and giving people links. That's why the Discord community is there, because we have traders that are part of the community that have come over and they are successful themselves into trading, whether it's they trading similar to the way I trade or they're trading their own strategies, but they are part of the community for a reason. It's for one to share how they trade, okay? And most of them, a lot of them trade supply and demand. And even if they don't, then there's nothing wrong with that. But they spent time watching the videos just as well. So there have been people who have educated themselves, lots of traders on the Discord community. That's why I recommend, if you're not part of the Discord community, come over, join, find the link down below. Before you start asking questions, do yourself your own favor. Watch the videos, or if you have questions, come over to the Discord and ask the same questions you have that you probably want to send me. Ask community members. There are thousands of community members. There are hundreds that are signed on every single day. I believe we have, well, in accumulation, I think there's about 2,000+ members. They're all active at one time, but there are probably 300 or 400 members that are active during the session when we're trading in the mornings, okay, especially during the U.S. or New York session. You can ask questions. Don't be afraid to come over to the Discord community and ask those questions because they have answers just as well. Lots of those individuals have found success by watching the videos so they can help out, all right? I'm one person. I can't answer everybody's question, okay? That's why I purposely make these videos and this content is to really express how I trade personally from a personal level and express my experience as a trader. So hopefully that inspires other people, all right? I'm not here to really create a training course or mentorship program. I'm basically giving you guys the information on how I trade for free. I'm just making it in the form of these contents in the videos. So it's up to you to watch the videos, okay? Taking shortcuts in life don't get you nowhere. You got to spend time doing the homework and watching and watching and watching and watching. Yeah, there's 600 plus videos on the channel. You don't have to watch them all, but there's also the elite channel membership tier that you can sign up for, $6.99. You probably hear me talking about that in multiple videos over and over. And I'm not here to talk about that today. I just simply throw that out there because that has helped lots of individuals by them gaining access to my trade breakdowns as well as the video playlist. That means that's a hand-selected list of videos that I purposely have put together link by link that primarily cover just the overall, in a nutshell, everything that I pretty much express the importance of the content, the strategy. It's included there. So if you choose to, you choose not to. Again, it's $6.99, $7 a month. I know a lot of you probably spend more than that on your lunch a day or price a cup of coffee, but there's a lot of valued content and information there. If you do not believe me, please don't take it from me. Ask the community members over on the Discord community. Those that have engaged, those that have enrolled in the elite membership, ask them how has it helped them. And you'll see, even if you scroll back into some of the conversations and comments on the Discord, you'll see tons of individuals say, join the elite membership, it has helped. But that's up to you, okay? I'm not going to answer questions over and over and over. You guys understand, on one of me, redundant questions get old. And the thing is, it's like, you've got to watch. Okay, you got to spend time in the markets. You got to practice. So I'll leave it there, okay, guys? But anyways, let's move on. So as I mentioned, we're breaking higher here on the ES. This is a demand zone. So you can look for it, come back to it, and just look for, follow the strategy, step-by-step process, and how I break things down when it comes to the strategy and how I trade, okay? This is marking zones off a higher time frame and just waiting for the market to come back to them. And then, following the next steps into the strategy. So anyways, let's go down to the NASDAQ now. Let me pull that up right quick. Okay. So here's the NASDAQ. We're looking at the higher time frame chart right now. Moving higher. Okay. This right here, I saw, this was an opportunity to go long to the Asian session in yesterday's session or last night. Okay. So this was a demand area on the higher time frame. Okay, pull back to it. The way to trade that is, again, move down to your lower time frame. Look for a demand setup to unfold on your lower time frame entry chart. Wait for it to pull back to that key to that demand zone and take a shot going long. Where would I have taken that trade up to? This area up here. Okay, you've got to understand, once you're into a trade, where can it possibly go up to? There's gaps that need to be filled here. Areas that need to be filled. Imbalances. I should say gaps, imbalances in between these candles that need to be filled. So, it really hasn't broken any structure to the downside here. So the market is bullish. So long as it's bullish, I'm looking for opportunities to go long. Demand pulls back to a key area demand. Again, move down to the lower time frame. Look for the setup to unfold, as I talk about in numerous videos. Move down to the lower time frame. Look for a demand setup. Pull back to the demand on the lower time frame. Rejection, go long. And then you aim for areas where there's imbalances to be filled, or some area of resistance if you want to take it to there above. But I knew it was going to run these highs right here, but I didn't trade. But that was a good trade. I seen one or two individuals take this entry yesterday and into the overnight session, and congrats to you for taking that, because that was a good trade. Moved higher here, pull back, moved higher. Okay, kind of moved sideways here. This was a breaker structure to the upside. This was a low probability zone because it tested the area of demand right here. There was a imbalance right here that needed to get filled in. The market pulled back to it eventually. It rejected it, and we're kind of moving sideways right now. So just be kind of careful in trading and looking at the higher time frame. Let's move down to the lower time frame. You kind of see the same thing here unfolding. We had that break here. It pulled back, moving sideways here. So for me right now, even looking at the lower time frame, you know, we had a high, higher low, higher high. Now we're moving sideways. We're in between this high and this low right here. Okay. All right. There's a high here. There's a low from this swing right here to the upside. So a high and a low, and it's trading in between this leg right here. So I would wait for a break above and then a pullback to, you know, some key area of demand. All right. Okay. So I'm waiting to see. I think I'm gonna go long here, just for a quick little stab back up to maybe this area here, maybe a little higher. Okay. Just a quick little trade here. We hit my first target to the tick. Look at that, and pull back and hit it. All right. So okay, first contract's filled, second contract's filled. Okay. Just going with the flow of the market structure. You know, had a high there, low, higher low, higher high, higher lows down here at the bottom. Made new highs up here. So I just looked for a quick little pullback to a key area of demand right here on the lower time frame, which is right here. This is a small area of demand, aggressive buying to the upside. We had a high, higher low, higher highs up to here at the tops, right? Pulls back. I'm looking to get filled right here, you know, back up to the tops right here, because again, if you're struggling with trying to identify where to take your trades up to, medium, TP, profit target areas, me personally, it's up to the trader. But me, when I trade, I'm already sizing up before I get into the trade. I knew this was a demand area, okay, on the lower time frame, okay. We're already bullish on the higher time frame, so I know to look for longs, all right. So when I saw this little demand area resting right here after making this high, higher low, higher high here, and when it comes back there, I'm already looking to see are there any imbalances that need to be filled back up to the high up here. Well, the moment that it rejects that zone there's an imbalance here, there's an imbalance up here. So I'm taking a quick scalp going back up to fill those imbalances. I hope that makes sense. And those are the areas I look for. You know, if there was let's just say there was maybe a small area of supply coming to the downside, then I'd look to take it back up to that key area of supply coming to the downside. But all in all, I'm looking to take the market, and I'll talk about this in many videos about imbalances. The market has to fill those areas where there's imbalances resting. Okay, I'm not saying it has to do it immediately, but it's got to do it at some point. Now we're ranging. So I'm just going to wait patiently to see what takes place here. Okay, so we're breaking structure again to the upside here on the higher time frame. Beautiful. This is a demand area. Hold on a minute. It's tested. I'm sorry, guys. That's a tested area. It is low probability. There is an imbalance resting here within the zone. Can the market test it and reject it? Yes, we already know that it can. Okay, it's just be careful because the zone has already been tested. I prefer I love when I should say it this way, when I see a untested area or zone, okay, where there's either a imbalance in the zone or maybe not an imbalance at all in the zone. So overall, just an untested zone. All right. Market it just made a new high. This on the lower time frame. It's pulling back pretty significantly now. So you can see just in the session today what it's been doing. It's making higher highs and higher lows. So on the lower time frame, looks like we're coming down and starting to break a bit of structure to the downside here. But on the higher time frame, we're still bullish. So I'm still interested because we haven't broken any key areas of structure on the higher time frame. And looking for opportunities to go long. So let's see. Can we look for a short opportunity on the lower time frame now that's broke structure? You can, but you'd be counter trading against the higher time frame. But yeah, I mean, back up in here, yeah, of course you could. So I'm interested to see when it comes down to this zone right here. This is a demand zone off of the lower time frame 12 range chart, right around 968. And a half. I'm gonna wait it out, just kind of see what happens there. Kind of pushing down pretty quick. Oh, look at it. We're right there. Yeah. So there you go. There you go. There you go. It didn't come down to that zone 100%. 968.5. We're like 3 ticks away, so it's haven't tapped into it. I'm gonna just leave it like that. I'll say that. All right, let's see what happens here. What is it going to do here? It's like it's pushing, pushing. All right. Part of me wants to go long. Look at it, left me. Okay. I'm going to try to scalp this thing back up. What is it doing? I'm going to scalp it back up for a few points here. Hopefully get filled here. Should. There we go. It's got filled there for a few points. And it's probably going to at least come up here and test this area imbalance right here at 78.25. And possibly higher. Look at the higher time frame. Oh yeah, it could test this area right here, 78.25 exactly. And then it may even come up here and run up here to 92 and a quarter. See, this was a demand. See, this is a break of structure. This demand area here is tested. But again, I talk about those imbalances resting within the demand zone, right? So it's rejecting that area, and it could come up here and test this area up here at 92.5. We can, but it can also reject here too, you know. So we just have to be mindful and wait it out and see what happens there. All right, so that was a little 4-point pickup right there on the Nasdaq. And we'll just look to see what happens next. Look to see what happens next here. I'm going long. Going long. I'm going to try to take it up to 92 up here. It's projecting this area here, but I want to be careful here. I need to be very, very, very careful. Very careful. See. Okay, so what is it? I'm not sure what it's trying to accomplish here. And I don't like this. I'm going to take out. It probably can go up there though, I'm pretty sure, to 92 up this area here. But I'm going to get out. It's kind of moving sideways for me, so I'm not going to take a risk there. For one, because this is a tested area already, low probability, and it did come back and fill that imbalance there and reject at it, or bounce when it got there, but that's fine. I'm gonna play it safe. Play it safe. Play it safe. I'm not gonna kind of play in the middle of something. We had this this high, this low, made highs up here, so I'm not gonna trade in the middle of this high volume area right here. I'm going to wait it out. Again, the higher time frame is still bullish. Lower time frame, we just started breaking a bit of structure to the downside here, but my mindset still look for longs. I'm not saying again that you can't take a short entry, but you'll be counter trend trading. This would be an area to go short if you possibly wanted to. Even these little pullbacks. Let's see. That was a little short right there, but these are just small little pullbacks, just small little areas, and what you could take shorts from. But I would like to see, bigger moves, like pull back to this area right here, But just be mindful because we're bullish on the higher time frame. All right. So yeah, let's just wait it out. Prefer to look for long entries. More than anything. So we broke to the downside, broke some bit of structure here to the downside on the lower time frame. And if we start breaking structure back to the upside, then we can look for opportunities to go long again. because that's the bias, that's the direction of what I'm looking at and wanting to trade because of the higher time frame. We haven't broken any major area of structure or any areas of structure back to the downside, so I'm not interested. I'm not interested. Okay, so this here would be a, well, no, it's the tested area of demand right here. But yeah, we have aggressive buying right here. So not a lot going on, just some quick scalps. I mean, if you just look at the market from when we opened up here, look what it's doing. I mean, no big moves happening. This is on the higher time frame of 60 range, but still, I mean, we're just kind of just nudging above, you know, prior highs. All right, high here, pull back, higher high, came back here. That'd have been an opportunity to go long from in this area, and I mentioned that. I mean, down here at 68, and I took that trade around this area right here, and boom, look what it does. It goes up. So I should have held that trade. All it did was come back and retest the area of the zone again. And this is what's called a second test. All right. I talked about this in videos in the past about second test opportunities. If you're more conservative, you don't want to take it when you see the close of the candle, you know, in the opposite direction, and you want to do a wait for a pullback to that area again. Because, you know, what happened here is that we have again a demand area here on the lower time frame, low probability with the imbalance there. Pulls back. There's a demand area here on the lower time frame chart, but because we're tapping into that low probability demand zone, the higher time frame again where the imbalance is at, we can look for the rejection. You can look for a demand setup. Okay, you can look for a demand setup, and this is an area of demand right here. Okay, boom, look at that, boom, aggressive buying. That's a demand. Okay, so the market comes back to it when it comes back to that area, but again, it's low probability even in a sense here on a lower time frame, but the market's still rejecting that area. Okay, so when it pulls back here, there's an imbalance within the lower time frame demand zone that it just created, which low probability, lower time frame demand zone with an imbalance right there, it rejects it. I mentioned prior to when I took the trade, it's probably gonna come up here and test 92, and it does. See, so the trade was good. I just got out. I think I took the trade. I got in and I took out at around 78 or something like that. But that would have been a beautiful trade had I had held it and taken it up back up to 92. But it's okay. It's all right. Quick scalp. Wasn't sure what it was going to do there because it went up there, came back, made a lower high here, and then it acted as if it wanted to push lower. But it's all right. So let's see if we get the breaker structure above now to the upside. Okay, let's see here. So yeah, this is a demand zone right here. Higher time frame demand. We can wait for a pullback once we get there. And then once we get there, we look to see if there's going to be some type of rejection at the zone on the lower time frame, and we'll look for a demand setup then. Now, if the market comes right back to this area immediately, like we just broke structure or breaking structure here to the upside, then we can scale down to our lower time frame, look at the 12 range, and see if there's a 12R demand zone in which we can trade, right? That's how you do it. But if it continues breaking higher and it takes it a while for it, you know, we'll go ahead and mark the zone here. Let's move this out the way here. Sorry about that, guys. So let's mark it. And the market keeps running higher to the upside, like I showed yesterday in the video. And it just keeps, you know, it's breaking structure here now. Then it pulls back and breaks structure again here. Then it takes it a while for it to come back because we've broken structures, you know, several times, and then it comes back. Then you may want to be a little bit more cautious and wait for the market to create an area of demand off the lower time frame chart. Okay, the 12 range, and then look for the market to pull back to that area of demand that is created on the lower time frame. Then the rejection, look for the rejection to unfold, and that's how I do it. Okay, so if we look at the higher time frame, we, you know, breaking structure to the upside. We have demand resting back here at 6,000. Excuse me, 6,000. Excuse me, guys, 16,981 and a half. This is the lower time frame 12 range, and I'm looking to see here. We have a demand zone resting right here on the lower time frame, as well as back here. So, you know, we could pull back to these key areas here and look for something to possibly happen. Okay, right now we are moving sideways. You can see it on the lower time frame chart. Just made a high. So we had this high here, lower high. I mean, excuse me, higher low. Sorry, guys. High here, and now we're just moving sideways. It may push lower and come down here and test this area of demand, and I'm waiting to see what it's going to do when it comes back to this area here. I mentioned the supply zone here on the lower time frame, 12 range chart. You see what it did. Supply, aggressive selling, comes down, and we start to break structure below this area here at 987. But still, the higher time frame is bullish, so you know, we want to look for long entries. So I'm just waiting to see what it's going to do. I mean, it's rejecting this area. It could be rejecting it, trying again to aim for this area of demand below. I'm taking a long entry trade, pull back right here to go up. I think it's going to possibly run the highs up here above 17,012. So it could pull back though before pushing higher here. So I'm going to put a contract. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to take out one here, okay? And then I'm going to put my last one up here, the top's up here, where the high is at, all right? And I don't want to see it pull, well, it's pulling back now, but I know it could pull back and possibly test. This was the entry right here, down here in this area here. It again, we're bullish, so we're looking for, you know, even on a pullbacks to where, see, it broke structure right here, then it turned back around and it started creating structure back to the upside, or breaking structure, pullback. This was an area of demand right here, could have went long. So I'm looking for it to run the highs now above 17,012, but I know it could pull back. I'm into this trade. Too late for my taste. Okay, I should have got into it down here and took the ride back up to the upside here. So looking at the higher time frame, we could definitely test higher areas. So hopefully hopefully this trade plays out. Honestly, I don't want it to really pull back on me too much, so I'm going to put a stop, you know, right above break even here. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to put a stop right here. And that way, look at it coming back. I know it could test lower areas, guys. That's the thing. So when you get in a trade right here after the move or halfway into the move, you know it can come back. It can come back and test here. It can definitely come down here and test here, and then want to push higher and take out the highs. So if it stops me out, that's fine. I just want to kind of trade this as if you guys probably would trade it yourself, and showing you this wasn't the best entry to get in at. I got into it too late. I was trying to get into it on a pullback, so a pullback here, get into the trade. But this was the opportunity down here to get into it because we're following the direction of the higher time frame. They're struggling to push higher here, and I'm hoping it does and doesn't come back and run my stop. Put my stop right there. If it hits it, it hits it. At least I'm up 6 points, 7 points, whatever, 6 points. Just falling behind price, the market, okay? And you can see it continue pushing to the upside here. But just kind of moving sideways though. So let's see what's going to happen next. We're going to wait to see what's going to break structure above 17,012. Yeah, still pushing higher. I think it's going to come up here and test the highs and probably run that prior high here. Again, I mean, you're looking at the higher time frame. We didn't test that demand zone yet, right? But in looking at what took place here, we had a high, higher low, higher high, right? The market starts to run lower, breaks a bit of structure on the lower time frame. Again, because we're bullish, we're looking for demand setups. Turns back around, starts to break structure back to the upside. This is a demand area, resting, excuse me, guys, right here in this area right here. Okay. Now, what does it do? It comes down there, it grabs liquidity right below it, and then blasts off to the upside. So they, you know, basically what we're looking for is because we're moving higher, we're looking for a demand setup. All right. Even though we're breaking structure on the lower time frame, you still want to trade in the direction of the higher time frame. So even when it's breaking structure in a lower time frame, it turns back around, starts re-breaking structure back to the upside. Then look for again a demand setup to continue the trade or take a trade back up to the upside. We got up to what 7,010 right now, 7,011. So it's going to make these little small pullbacks, but we're moving sideways right now. The opportunity for me, or should have been right here in this area right here when it pulled back. A lot of people probably wouldn't have taken this trade here because even though this is a small area of demand on, well, it is an area of demand here on the lower time frame, they would have probably not taken it when they saw it break through right here. That candle right there, wick below it, and broke right there. That and didn't close below it, but you know, still a lot of people wouldn't trade that because they probably got scared and said, "Nope, I'm not taking that trade." I'm not sure what's going to happen there, but that was a grab. All right, that's exactly what they did there. But it's moving sideways. I'm not saying that it can't come down here and test this test lower areas. So just be mindful. Yeah, be mindful what it can, you know, what it's trying to aim to do. We're bullish or trade bullish. Trade and look for demand setups. All right, interesting now. What are we trying to do here? Very interesting. Let's see here. This is a demand area. Broke structure back to the upside here. So wonder if it's going to reject this area. We're at the lower portion of this high volume area, or if it's going to run lower and just it's rejecting the tops up there. It got up to 17,011, and I wonder if it's going to test lower areas now. It's very interesting. Let's see. All right, looks like we pushed lower. We tapped into that. I stepped away from the computer, and we tapped into that demand zone, the higher time frame. In this, let's see. Hold on a minute now. Demand zone, the higher time frame, and we pulled deep into the zone. So we pushing deep into it. It didn't come down to it and wick the area and just start to move away. It came deep into it. Big wick here. Sign of bullish momentum stepping in here, but I'm not sure if it's going to. All right, let's see here. If it's going to try to push lower. All right. We'd love to see a pullback here. So it looks like we may be trying to attempt to push lower here. Looking at the this is, oops, sorry about that. It's on the higher time frame. This area, this zone here that I have marked or had marked, it looks like it's trying to break this area, ultimately, because pay attention to one thing when you're looking at your higher time frame or even your lower time frame, doesn't really matter. When we're talking about breaker structures, I mean, yeah, it did break above here, but it started wicking out of the top right here. So we didn't get a clean break and a close above, making a new high, even though we wicked out. So when you see price wicking above an area structure, that could be a sign, especially when you got one and then it comes back, makes a lower high, wicking there, and then it starts to push lower. That could be a sign that it wants to definitely attempt to want to push lower here. So removing this box here. We're testing the low, to the tick pretty much. So I'm not sure if it's going to, what it's actually going to do here. Yeah, it's kind of hard to tell. So be careful when you see things like that and you're looking for an opportunity to go long at a demand setup on a lower time frame. Like this right here was a demand area right here, but it pushed right through it. So there's no rejection there. And looking at the higher time frame now, again, we're still, remove that box there. We're like, you can see where it's coming. It was still in the zone. It's pulled deep into the zone. And I talk about when the market pulls deep into the zone, you got to be careful because it may be, for one, we're wicking out the top on the higher time frame. For two, we pull deep into the zone. So that could be definitely a sign of rejection that it does not want to push up. But we trade what we see and with hopes that it's going to possibly push higher because it is in a demand zone off the higher time frame, and that was a untested zone there. So let's see if we get some type of rejection. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what it's going to do. I'm taking a quick stab here, going long, and I'm going to take it back up to first contract out at right here, and then second one out here at 82. All right, so let's see if we can get up there. And then it's going to be my last trade. I'm just scalping right now. I notice, we're rejecting off the higher time frame demand, this area right here. And come on, baby. Hit that first, look at that, hit my first TP to the tick. Okay, first contract's filled. We run up there and fill that second contract. I'm not sure, but I'm not going to give it the opportunity to pull back. Oh, okay, I'm out. All right, see it go up there that quick and bounce. All right, so I went ahead, closed that second contract out at like 4.5 points there. I think the first one got close to like 6 points. So the scalping, I mean, this, if we look at the lower time frame, it was breaking structure back to the downside. This here is a supply area sitting up here, right here, okay, right there in that zone. And I noticed that, again, we're on the higher time frame. We're still bullish. We're at a key area demand. I'm being mindful, very mindful, and I'm looking for key areas of demand off the lower time frame to form that I can take a pullback to and move in the direction of or with the higher time frame. So this was the higher time frame demand, this area here, and then on the lower time frame, let me do this. Let me let's do this. All charts. It paint across. Okay, so when it tapped into the zone here, this is the zone with the higher time from that blue box. It pulled deep into it. Okay, so what I'm looking for then is a key area of demand set up on the lower time frame. This right here, it rejected when it came into the zone, created demand right here. When it came back, this would have been a demand area right here, but it blew right through it, creating a supply zone on the lower time frame, or a supply area on the lower time frame. The supply zone right here. Turns back around, break structure back to the upside. What I did here, let me explain it to you. What I did here, I noticed that the market created and broke structure right here. All right, demand right here. Okay, this would have been the area to get in at. So when it broke right above here, this bullish candle here, and came back. So it broke right here, this candle here, the bullish candle, came back. It closed, I went long. And I knew that it was going to test at least up in this area up here. Feel some of these imbalances up here. And it's probably not done. It's probably at least, I would think that's going to test 82.5 and come up here and test 83.5, 84 area. Let's see if it does. Okay, but at least it filled most of those gaps or imbalances, not gaps, imbalances back to the upside so far. And I think it's still not done. I think it's going to push a little higher. And ultimately, it can actually push up higher and come up here and test around the 95.5 area. So, but I'm going to go ahead. I just scalped that real quick to get out my trade. I mean, not get out, but go ahead and finish up my day here. And let's just kind of wait it out to see what it does here. Let's see if it goes up there and hit that area. There we go. See? We hit that area. Boom. We feel that imbalance right there as well. So, demand to demand. Understand that. Or not say demand to demand. Demand set up on the higher time frame. Demand set up on the lower time frame. Simple as that. That's what I did. The thing that, a lot of I talk about is the break of the structure, or look for break of structure, or for a demand setup to be created on the lower time frame. This was a break right here. Okay, this was a demand area, broke structure right here. Typically, you want to wait for the pullback. So if you can get into this type of trade quick enough if you know what you're doing. Broke here, created area demand, aggressive buying. Broke right here, broke above 73, 973. This candle here came back quickly to this area of demand resting right here. Okay, and when it did that, came back there, I was looking for an opportunity to go long. Simple as that. I think I maybe got into it like a little bit late. So it created this area of demand right here. It broke an area of structure with this candle right here. And the moment it came immediately back to the area of demand and closed above, I'm going long. All right, and I'm aiming for this area right up here where you see what it did. It came up and hit those areas of imbalances to the tick. So this was the area of demand on the lower time frame. Mark it right here. And I'm going to mark my arrow because I knew where it was potentially going to go to. Fill these imbalances. Okay, so let's mark that. I just marked those areas crimson. These are the areas in which I'm marking where I'm looking to take profit in a sense, or at least I know where the market's going to go to. Okay, so that's why I did that. So this was, let's go back to the higher time frame, demand zone, higher time frame. Go down to the lower time frame, scale down, taps into the higher time frame demand zone. At this point, we're looking for now a demand setup on the lower time frame. We get it when it breaks structure right here to the upside. Created area demand, broke structure. Candle here comes back to the area demand. So it didn't do what we typically like to see it do when we wait for. And sometimes you can catch trades like this if you're quick enough, where we see it, create an area demand, break structure right here, and then pull back to it. What it did was, meaning that it pushed up, pulled back, and broke higher, okay, create another swing, and then pulling back to this key area demand. What it did was create an area demand, broke structure, all with this one candle right here, and it came right back with the wick of that candle there, back down to demand. If you're quick enough and you wait for it to close, when you see it, quickly come back to this area of demand right here, get into the trade, and then take it up. And that's what I did. So, solid trade right there on the NASDAQ. And I'm pretty much done for today, guys. That's going to be it. I'm just scalping today, taking a few quick entries here. Just let you know as well, follow the direction. First of all, follow market structure. Trade in the direction of the market, regardless of how it's moving. The higher time frame is going to tell you all. It's going to tell you what the market's trying to do. Even though the lower time frame may be looking like it's breaking structure to the downside, the best thing to do is to take the trades in the direction of the higher time frame. So in this case here, all I would be doing was looking for demand setups all day long. All right, and that's primarily what I did. I don't think I took one short trade today. I think it was all long trades. So that's the best thing to do, is to trade in the direction market zone, higher time frame, market zone, lower time frame. We're talking about demand. On the lower time frame, wait for it to come back to that demand area and reject it and take your shot going long. Where is it going to aim to go to? It's probably possibility. It's going to come up here and fill the rest of this imbalance here at 95.5. Now, I'm not saying that I know I have a crystal ball that's going to do that, but it's a possibility. But that's pretty much it. That's what I want to show you guys today. That's what I want to talk about in today's video. So do yourself a favor. Like I talked about in the first half of the video, watch the videos. Okay, stop. The answers to your questions, they're in some of the videos. I can't go back and pull out and know exactly what I said in each one of the videos, but I trust this. Whatever question you have, they're in the videos. You're just going to have to spend time watching them. All right. Maybe you want to join and become an elite channel supporter. All right. You can do so by clicking on the join button. You see right here on the video page, right here is a join button next to the share or the subscribe button somewhere there. Okay. The share link or share button. You'll see a button there, JOIN. It's going to bring up 2 tiers: loyal channel supporter, elite channel supporter. Become an elite channel supporter if you choose to do so for $6.99 a month, and you get the trade breakdowns. You get the video playlist where I picked out the videos I believe are the ones that cover the most valuable or core content to how I personally trade. It's up to you. All right, I'm gonna stop just wasting my energy and time answering redundant questions because it's out there. The information is there. I create these videos for a reason because first of all, they're educational, and I believe they truly have been helping people out because of all the comments and positivity I've been receiving back. But the information is there if you take the time to watch it. No shortcuts. I didn't take shortcuts to get here. It took me time, effort, and hundreds of hours of practicing. So if you don't have that, then I feel sorry. I'm sorry for you. Okay, I don't know what to tell you, but you're going to have to really put in the work. That's all I can say. Just as well as many of our members that are part of the Discord community, that are part of the Elite Channel Supporter Membership Program. Again, you can join to be that if you choose to. But that's all I have to say. If you want to join the Discord, find the link down in the description portion of the video. You can invite yourself into the Discord. It's free of charge, and come and join us. Also, if you're not a current subscriber and you're trading futures and you're watching this video, what are you waiting on? Supply and demand is where it's at. I give it to you and break it down and go into as much detail as possible. If you trade the indice futures, it doesn't really matter because supply and demand is universal. But on this channel here, we primarily trade the index or indice futures. But again, it doesn't matter what asset class you actually trade when it comes to the future markets. You can do so by trading supply and demand, but you have to first and foremost be able to read and understand the market and follow the market structure. I'll leave you with that. Look, also make sure to turn your post notifications on. So take the time right now. I'm gonna give everybody 5 seconds. Click that sub button, that subscribe button. All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, I may have went a little too fast. Then make sure to turn your post notifications on. Click on that bell. Okay, next to that sub button. Turn them all on so you never miss one of the videos here. And last but not least, guys, please drop a like on the video. I appreciate everyone tuning in on the daily. I appreciate all of the love and support and the positivity that you bring to the channel, that you bring to the Discord community. I appreciate everyone that's an elite channel supporter member. I thank you guys because you guys are making this happen and keeping this community going. All right, I talked to you guys and said many months ago that it was never my interest to really start these videos. And from the beginning, it was just a means of being able to record and share, or put record my mindset, record and share with myself my trades, and so that I can go back and reflect if I needed to. But I said, this is the way to pass things forward by sharing things with other individuals based on the knowledge and information that I have. So I'm going to share it. So, you don't have to trade like me. I'm just here to share with you my experience and the way I do it. So that's all I have for you guys in today's video. I appreciate you guys tuning in, spending some time watching me take a few trades today, and allowing me to give you the breakdown on the reason why I took those trades. Take care. I'll see you in the next video. And if you're trading, please make sure to be safe and green on the day.